YouTube. So this video I am going to be testing out candles, seeing if I can heat my van at all with candles. I've seen some other people doing this on YouTube quite successfully, but it's one of those things I wanted to try it for myself. As you can see, it's quite a cold day here. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be testing this with one candle first, leave that for a while, see if that works at all, see if it heats up the inside of the van. Then I'm going to try with all three candles, see how effective that is. And I don't really like the idea of having an open naked flame, especially not if I'm sleeping in my van. That's a bit of a fire risk. I've got this candle lantern here, UCO, the original candle lantern, with the idea of that being a little bit safer. This is quite a nice piece of kit actually. The flame burns behind this glass casing here, and there's a spring in the bottom that pushes the candle upwards as it's burning. This candle's supposed to last about 9 hours. So that's a pretty good purchase, but I'm not going to be using that for the experiment. So just a couple of things to consider with candles. Firstly, safety. I mean, you've always got to be careful with naked flames, and I'm not actually recommending that anybody does this. I feel comfortable burning a candle in here, but that's completely your decision if you decide that that's safe or not. Candles don't really put out any poisonous gases or anything. Basically, when a candle burns, it gives off carbon dioxide and water, which is pretty much the same as what's coming out my mouth when I'm breathing. But when you're burning oxygen, you've got to make sure that you've got adequate ventilation. I'm quite lucky in this van because I've got quite badly fit doors, so I have some natural ventilation in here. I don't really have to leave anything open, but make sure that you've got an oxygen supply somehow. How much heat can I expect this to put out? Well, candles burn around about 80 watts, and most of that is put out as heat. So actually you've got sort of an 80 watt heater. Obviously not as much as like a proper electric heater, which is usually in the thousands of watts. But you've got the advantage of being in a smaller confined space. But the idea is that it's going to help a little bit. It's not going to make it boiling hot in here. It's not going to be a sauna. But if it can take the edge off the cold, then that's what I'm looking for. I'm not actually going to be in here for this experiment because my body is giving off heat as well as the candles. So in order to be as accurate as possible, I'm going to leave these burning and I'm going to be outside the van. I am going to be keeping an eye on it. Obviously it's not a good idea to leave a candle burning in here. That's the only way I'm going to get any conclusive results from this, is if I'm not in here. Okay, so it's 7 minutes past 4. It's 0.2 degrees outside, 1.5 degrees in here. It's about an hour later, so let's have a look to see if this candle's made any difference whatsoever. So 1.1 degree in here. The temperature's actually gone down. That means, I know I've got ventilation in here, perhaps not the most airtight van, but that isn't looking like it's making much of a difference to me. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to light all three and then come back in another hour. So 3 candles burning there. It is 11 minutes past 5 and it's 1.2 degrees in here. I'll see you in another hour or so. So it's just over an hour later and let's go and have a look, see if all 3 are still burning, see if there's any difference to the temperature. Okay, so one's gone out. Don't know how long ago that went out, but let's have a look anyway. So yeah, 1.5 degree in here. Might have gone up a little bit slightly. It's also gone down outside. Has gone up inside, down outside, on 2, possibly 3 candles. So I think that's pretty conclusive. Could be a better experiment, of course, it always can be. I could be trying this with a few more candles. Obviously that would be more effective. I could be leaving them for longer than an hour. Might take longer than that to really start to take effect. But I suspect probably that some of the people who've had luck with this are experiencing their own body heat having an effect. I've been in here a few minutes, and as you can see, this has gone up by a whole degree. So my body heat is a lot more effective than 3 candles. And I'm not going to start burning 50 candles in here is just not, it's not realistic. So I'm going to stick to my thermals, my hot water bottle and my all season sleeping bag. That's good enough for me, so not recommending this one. Cheers.